everybody, welcome back to DDoS, Daily Dose Salt. I decided to start a new series called A Pinch of Salt, which is where I basically just complain about things that happen to me in video games while you guys weren't watching. This particular one is from Final Fantasy XIV. I play this MMO online with my best friend, Callie. I think you've actually seen her on the channel before, or heard her rather. But this one is with Titan. I was doing my daily roulettes, and for some reason it sent me into Eden for Titan, which is the first time this had ever happened to me. And funny story, but it actually happened again immediately after the next day, where it put me in Eden Prime as my roulette, and everyone in my free company was like, that never happens, that's so weird. But as you'll see from the video, I'm not terrible at this. I'm not the best, but I'm not terrible. I don't die. Occasionally I will die if I'm with my actual FC for some reason. I don't know why, but I suck more when I'm with them. With randos, which is what's going on here, I'm much better. Anyway, the story is with the roulette, and I was one of two healers, as always is in here, but we were both summoners. So I know how his stuff's supposed to work, right? Well, he's an awful healer. I'm not going to name him, but he's an awful healer. He doesn't utilize his fairy skills at all. He never used Seraph at all. He never used Sucker to do AoE heals. He never used his Aether Flow to do AoE heals. So I was basically healing the raid by myself, and he just healed the tank. But the worst part, because I didn't have to worry about the tank, he was at least doing that. The worst part was he kept dying to the mechanics, like that one where that guy just died. And just over and over, he would die on this one because he would stand in the orange spot and die. I had to use rescue on him several times on that instance there to get him out of danger. We wiped 6 times because I was basically solo healing, because every time a big instant kill mechanic would happen, he'd be standing in it and he would die, and I'd have to res him, and then I'd be out of mana. I had to use limit break, I had to res him. It was insane. I counted one fight, I resed him more than 8 times. 8 times. So, I just wanted to share the story about how I solo healed Titan, but it was absolutely insane. And I kept telling him, like, hey, just follow me. I even asked the tank, like, can you put a marker on my head? Because I'm doing them correctly, because I'm not dead. And that way, you know, he could just follow me around, and the tank wouldn't do that. So the guy just kept standing and stuff. On the very last time, which is the time I counted how many times I rezzed him, which means that's the one I rezzed the least on, because I was rescuing him. That's when I started to use that skill to get him out of stuff and where he was supposed to be. And that was the one where we finally killed the stupid guy, and I was like, wow, you're on my ban list now. I mean, I hate to do that because someone sucks, because a lot of time they're just new. I get the feeling that he like bought his way up in levels and doesn't really know how to play his class, because that's pretty much the way he acted. But you know, it's whatevs. Anyway, below, I guess I would like you guys to share your awful stories, especially if they're Final Fantasy XIV stories, and tell me about the awful people you've grouped with. We can all share in the misery. So, this has been A Pinch of Salt, and thanks for joining me for your daily dose of salt. Make sure you season that like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.